Can I come straight through?
Yes, please, thank you.
Sarah and her daughter Poppy have rushed 7-year-old Hooligan in to see Chris after playtime turned to disaster.
It sounds really silly. We were playing a game of chase and we came round a corner together and we collided.
Okay.
She's immediately started crying and screaming and, you know, it was awful.
You can see she really doesn't like that.
Yeah.
It's my hand, it's all right.
We were having such fun.
Yeah.
It's one of her favourite games. It's all right, it's all right.
So what I'll do, I'll give her some pain relief, just so she's more relaxed and more comfortable.
Yeah.
And then I'll take an X-ray. It's almost like the family's never seen Hooli like this. Normally she is so full of energy and so full of life that to see her so withdrawn and in pain, it's really surprising them. And for them, they're finding it quite confronting. You got a surprise, didn't you? You thought play could be so painful.
Probably the worst case scenario is if it's broken. Hopefully just a dislocation and Chris will be able to just sort of, you know, pop it back in.
Nearby, emergency vet Lisa Chimes is also worried about her puppy.
Today is Lucas's big day. My little boy is getting castrated. And for most dogs, this is a fairly routine procedure. But for Lucas, he's got a rare condition called cryptorchidism, which basically means that his testes are missing. They haven't dropped down. Now, if we don't go in there and find them, he's got a 10 times greater chance of developing cancer, and that's pretty scary. It's quite pathetic because I lose all sense of being a vet. I become a neurotic mother and I've been worrying all night about him having the surgery today. Look, wanna go walkies? For them to be in pain or go through any risky procedures just freaks me out. Come on.
Got a feel for her. I mean, as a game, it seems so harmless and it sounds like they did it all the time, but it's not really what you expect when you come running around a corner to run into your owner.
Little Hooligan is in agony after a family game of chasing ended in tears.
X-ray.
Oh. Big fracture right across the middle there. That would be incredibly sore. That's not just one fracture, that's two. It's almost amazing she didn't hear a crack because that's what would have happened with these two. It would have been an absolute snap. So she actually does have a fracture here. So right through her radius and her ulna. What's hard about these types of fractures is they're not simple to fix. We're talking about serious orthopaedic surgery.
Oh dear. It's all right.
Hooligan now needs to be transferred to SASH for a major operation.
Tomorrow really is the start of a very long battle for her because this isn't an easy operation. It's not something she's going to get over quickly. I'm going to make this a bit tighter. Okay. She's going to have to bring every little bit of courage that she's got to that surgery tomorrow, and really we just hope that she can pull through.
I'm a mess.
Is he being braver than you are?
I'm pathetic.
Lisa's puppy Lucas is about to undergo surgery to try to fix his rare condition, cryptorchidism, more simply known as missing testicles.
Oh, be brave.
Good boy, good boy.
Surgeon Andrew Marchevsky has the unenviable job of operating on his colleague's beloved dog.
He's got nothing.
There's nothing.
No. The problem is when they're, as you know, when they don't come down, they stay really small.
Yeah.
And they're really hard to find.
Yeah.
And his were never going to be big in the first place.
Lisa does have another concern. It's just a little bit embarrassing.
I have this worry that maybe he could be a pseudo-hermaphrodite. Now,
Hermaphrodites have the reproductive organs of both males and females.
I'll tell you the reasoning for this.
Right.
Male dogs in the park have been having relations with him. Could it be possible that he's releasing some female hormones?
Well, I guess it's possible.
So maybe when you're in there, if you want to just have a look for some ovarian-looking tissues.
You're right. Maybe he's been enjoying the attention.
Poor Lucas, you're just a special little boy.
I have to castrate and love him. Don't hurt him. I'll do my very best.
You're all right. I'm not going to cry.
Lisa's puppy Lucas is on the operating table and surgeon Andrew Marchevsky is feeling the pressure.
Well, it's a lot more risky than if it was just a straightforward castration because we might have to open him right up.
Lucas has a rare disease called cryptorchidism, which means both his testicles are missing.
I think I've just caught sight of it here somewhere.
If they're not found and removed, it greatly increases the risk of cancer.
I've got the first one, so that's a good start. We'll just get it tied off. Got to be a little careful because there's a couple of little vessels around here that if you nick them, they can bleed quite a lot, and I don't think that'd please Mrs. High Maintenance out there. I can't find the second one. It's hiding from me. So it's making my life a little bit more difficult. I'm going to have a late lunch. I found it. Is it there? It's there. It's sitting just near the bladder. So it sort of got 3/4 of the way that it should have got and stopped. Ran out of puff. Good news for Dr. Chimes. I can confirm there are no girly bits, so Lucas is definitely a boy. It's a boy.
It's a boy!
It's a boy.
He's a boy now.
So Lucas is not an hermaphrodite.
He's really
That's
a
the good
boy.
news. The
So I
bad
don't know
news,
why maybe
not
he's
allowed
just that way
home
inclined.
tonight.
Oh, yeah, right.
He's staying overnight.
No, I'll be taking that
He's
shrimp
staying
pump
overnight.
home. That pump will come home.
Staying overnight.
Can I see him?
Yeah? You can see him.
Okay.
Come on.
Oh, little Lukey. Oh, baby boy. I feel like I'm an owner. It's really bizarre being the one getting all emotional, saying goodnight. Complete role reversal for me. He's a sleepy boy. I've been putting this off for so long and I'm just so happy that it's over and I can now look forward and he can recover and it's all in the past.
Got a present for you.
They're quite big. They're not bad. Lucas. Excellent. I can prove to everyone that he is a boy.
It's a big day for her, so it's probably reasonable that she's a little bit anxious.
Hooligan has spent the night at the Bondi Clinic after a collision with her owner caused multiple leg fractures.
Oh, Angel, that's a wagging tail.
Owner Sarah and her daughter Poppy are now taking Hooligan to Sash for major orthopaedic surgery.
Let's go.
She's a lovely dog, she's a very sweet dog. She's a very stoic dog as well, and she's going to need all that courage to get through today.
Thank you so much.
All the
Thanks,
best.
Chris.
No problem
Okay,
at all.
bye.
Take care. See you, Lily.
Inside the clinic, bird lovers Neil and Bloss are waiting for Chris with their badly injured 3-week-old cockatiel, Sydney.
What's happened this time?
You remembered us.
Of course I remember. Go on through. So who's this?
Sydney. He was born on Australia Day.
Okay.
And his mother and father and brothers and sisters all tried to keep him warm in a little nest box and hence the splayed legs.
Heard of close families, but that's a little bit ridiculous. When the whole family's come in and slept on top of Sydney, what that does is it forces Sydney's legs back behind him, squashes them down. I'm worried they're actually broken, or he's got some serious nerve damage there. At this age, they're incredibly fragile, and he could very easily have serious problems that just can't be fixed.
All right.
At SASH, Sarah and Poppy are waiting for Andrew to view Hooligan's x-rays.
Ooh, that'd hurt a bit. The reason she's so sore is because the bone ends are still really close to each other and it's just grinding away, and it just hurts like hell.
I was awake a lot of the night worrying about my little one, reliving it all and, you know, just worrying, as you do.
So I think what we need to do is put a plate on the bone, get the alignment perfect, and then it'll take probably the next 10 to 12 weeks to heal.
Okay.
Hooligan has never spent a night away from his family, and it's a tough goodbye for everyone.
Absolutely awful. Horrible. Hopefully it's just a clean break and it'll all be good and there's no nerve damage, and so hopefully it'll all be fine.
What I want to do is just first of all feel for his hips, make sure they're actually in joint.
3-week-old cockatiel Sydney is in a bad way after his mum and dad and siblings all slept on him and crushed his legs.
So what we need to do is actually make sure that there aren't any fractures there. Femur feels okay, and these legs feel all right. The great news is Sydney doesn't have any fractures or dislocations there, but what has happened is those legs have been hyperextended back and locked into position, and now they're stuck there. If he's actually had nerve damage to the point where the nerves can no longer do that, then it's going to be really hard for him to actually live a normal life. Thought about it? There we go. You see that?
So what do you do, stick your tape into the perch?
No.
I was joking.
I'm not.
Oh.
Good, chest on.
It's actually exactly what we do.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It seems a bit drastic, but often the drastic works. He looks like a bit of a ski jumper at the moment, but so you just give him very light support there.
Yes.
See how he pushes himself forward? He lunges forward like that. That's building up those muscles. Pressure there. Where did I learn about this? Made it up. So it becomes like gymnastics for him.
And the winner is Sydney.
But to make a full recovery, Sydney will also need an intensive physio program.
Bit of parrot Pilates. Push back on the knee, bring the ankle forward.
I don't think he's in pain while you're doing that.
No, he's all right. He'd be feeling the burn. Yeah, be feeling the stretch. So push back on the knee and bring the ankle forward. So it's a lot of work for a little guy, but it's a lot of work that'll have big rewards if you can actually stick with it. Not all birds in this situation actually do make a recovery. It's about 50-50. I've got absolutely no doubt that Neil and Bloss will carry out these instructions to the letter. My biggest concern is whether little Sydney's body's up to it.
I love all my birds. I will give him Pilates. My animals come first before me, always.
All right, darling, you ready? You'll be brave.
Andrew is about to start surgery on Hooligan's multiple leg fractures. The much-loved family pet was injured after a game of chasey went horribly wrong.
It's literally snapped in two, and the bone ends are totally separated.
Andrew will now insert a permanent plate to rejoin the bones.
And so the plate will be there like an internal splint. The most important screws to the first 2 or 3. If the first couple of screws aren't quite right, then there's a domino effect and then they get sort of worse and worse as you go. Right, there we go. Let's give it a bit of a flush and close it up. And that looks pretty good. I'm really happy that it just couldn't look any better. She's going to think it was never broken, but if she suddenly takes off and chases after something, she could pull those screws out, bend the plate, do horrible things. So she's going to be confined to leashed walks and no chases for the next 2 or 3 months.
It's all right.
As soon as Hooligan wakes up,
She's very brave.
Very brave.
Sarah and daughters Poppy and Charlotte are allowed in to see the patient.
Quite amazing. She was really quite stirred up when they're not here, but as soon as they get here, she just becomes this totally contented little critter.
It's just good it's all over and it went well, and it was so nice to see her again.
We could see as soon as they put her back in the cage and started walking away, she started crying and getting upset again. She's very bonded to the family, it's obvious. So there's a lot of loving there.
Should be right.
Hooligan! Hooligan! Are you feeling better? Yes.
It's just one day after Hooligan's major operation to fix 2 fractures in his leg. He desperately wants to go home, but first he has to pass Andrew's test.
You're feeling better. Come on, we'll see what you can do. Right, come here. Come on, Hooligan, there you go. It's sort of a case of what broken leg, isn't it? She's walking around like there's no problem at all. They don't improve any quicker than she has.
It's an A+ for Hooligan, and his elated family can't believe their luck.
Hello, little one. Look at you. Didn't even bring a lead because we just didn't imagine that she'd be walking like that.
She's doing obviously great.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to be... She thinks she's fixed. She's not fixed. I mean, it is great, but it sort of does create other problems in the sense that she's just going to have nothing to tell her to slow down except you guys. So.
OK, we'll do that. Yes, we will. That was amazing to see her walking out. That was fantastic.
Where's that dog on television?
Lucas has recovered quickly from his delicate operation and is back home with Lisa and Nelson watching his favourite TV show.
These boys are my life. They're my children. I would do anything for them.
G'day, good to see you.
Boss,
How are you?
Good. Now, where is he?
Wrong cage, right behind you. Pick the bird.
Oh, man. Look at that.
I know.
This is Sid, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it.
This is how Sydney looked only 3 weeks ago.
I'd be happy if we got Sydney to just be able to stand up. But he's perching on my finger there, and he's holding on tight.
You didn't think you'd get that good?
No.
To everyone's surprise, the bizarre bird therapy has worked.
He had to be fair dinkum. I mean, he's had more attention than the South Sydney Rugby League side, for God's sake.
I knew it was just time, patience and love would fix it. And it did.
That's it. We take the pencil global. Want some of the action? Huh? About the Sydney Brown pencil. Get the copyright done today. You and me. Make millions.
9-month-old Betty is a failed race dog who's been dumped with Greyhound Rescue.
They thought she was dead, first of all, because she was laying so still and wouldn't move at all. So, you know, why? We don't know.
Peter was called in to save the puppy after she suddenly collapsed.
How are you? I'm Chris.
Peter.
Hey, Peter. This is Betty, is it?
Hey, Betty.
Now the neglected Betty needs urgent medical attention and a new home.
She's quite unsteady there, isn't she?
People see them with the muzzle and they think they're dangerous dogs, whereas in fact they're the exact opposite. They're very friendly, very gentle and affectionate. 40 mile per hour couch potatoes, that's what they are.
heart rate's a little bit high. With the amount of fleas that she has, that could be playing a part. I'm sure you'll agree, she doesn't look like a greyhound puppy should.
It's a mystifying case. Hopefully blood tests and x-rays will provide some clues.
X-ray. There's not much food going through her digestive system. There's a bit of air, but really this is just pointing towards the fact she hasn't eaten for days. And on top of the fleas and on top of the fact she just doesn't really have much body reserves, she's really struggling.
The fleas are easy to treat, but the blood tests will have to be sent to the lab for further analysis. Chris is almost certain Betty's collapse has been caused by malnourishment. That can be fixed with a high-calorie diet and rest.
What I'm most concerned about right now is the fact that when you look at her, Betty's got this general lack of coordination. She stumbles around, her head wobbles. I'm starting to worry there might even be something more serious going on here. If I had to have a hunch, it'd probably be head trauma, given the fact that racing, it's a tough game. And if she's had a fall or even been hit on the head, then this would explain everything. That'd be why she's been given up in the first place.
You gotta eat something, all right? Come on, just start small. Come on, Betty, you just need to eat something. If you're gonna get your strength back, you need to start here. It's all right. You cheer up, huh? You cheer up for us?
It's just really sad to see a puppy so dejected. She's had the worst possible start in life, and you really wouldn't blame her for just giving up. I'm just hoping that we can turn that all around.
At the Bondi Referral Hospital SASH, Deb and her daughter Meg have brought in their 5-month-old kitten.
Oh, Lily, it's all right. Lily Pilly.
The family adopted Lily only 5 weeks ago, and 12-year-old Meg is already in love.
This much. I love her a lot.
But now her new best friend is in real trouble.
Well, she's eaten a rubber band about that size, I think.
Ooh, that's quite a long one.
It was around a bunch of flowers, and as I was opening the flowers, it flicked off.
Excellent.
And she pounced on it.
Okay, so you can see there it's not under her tongue.
No.
The problem with leaving it in, if it's as long as that, and she's chewed it can cause the intestines to sort of all bunch on top of each other, and it can be a really nasty obstruction that can be life-threatening.
To avoid invasive surgery, Lisa will first attempt to make Lily vomit up the rubber band. But for cats, this can be a tricky procedure.
They just don't respond to the medications in the way that dogs do. So it's a bit of a nightmare. Can I ask as well what type of flowers they were?
Ah, lilies?
Lilies cause kidney failure in cats.
Really?
And any part of the plant is toxic. Most of the time we can't get them back from that. Okay, so it's actually better for her that she's eaten the rubber band rather than gone and had a nibble on the lilies.
Okay.
Good luck.
Take care, good luck, absolutely. Throw up well.
I had no idea that it was this serious. I just thought, oh yeah, they'll just give her a tablet and out it comes and off we go. Hey, little mouse. Had no idea that it would be like this. Yeah.
Back at the Bondi Clinic, a devoted dad is waiting for Chris to examine his 12-year-old daughter's pet mouse, Pino.
He's about a year old. My daughter's pride and joy. She's a bit distraught about it at the moment.
In just 36 hours, an ugly tumour has engulfed Pino's body.
David and Pino.
Hi.
You're David.
Yeah.
Where's Pino?
Pino's in here.
All right. Of course Pino's in there.
Yeah.
Hey, Pino.
Something, a little tumour.
Okay, come on through and we'll have a look.
Yeah, lovely.
Most of the tumours that we see in mice are mammary tumours.
Yep.
So they're essentially breast cancers.
Right.
Mice are used in human medical research to grow tumours so we can actually study how cancers behave and the best way to treat them. But unfortunately, some of those genes have gone into pet mice.
Daughter Elliot has given Dad strict instructions that she wants a medical update from Chris as soon as possible.
The only hope, I guess, that she has is if we can get in there and get around the back of that tumour and take it off.
Yeah.
But really not kill her in the process.
Yeah, yeah.
If I was to do nothing for little Pino right now, this tumour would continue to grow and would kill her. I'm willing to give it a go if you're willing to let me.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
What is one person's vermin is the absolute centre of this little girl's universe. And really, if they make an appointment, then we'll see them. Around here, it's all creatures great and very small.
At the moment, Lily's got a rubber band in her stomach, and if we wait too long, that's going to move into her intestines where it can cause an obstruction. So it's really important that we act quickly, we make her vomit and try and get it out of her.
Oh, so brave. Good
Lisa's now giving Lily a sedative shot to try to make her vomit.
Vomits and then you can
If
go
she
home.
doesn't, the kitten will need to be cut open.
Come on, little one. I know it's horrible. I feel really mean. Come on, little one. Come on, licking the lips. Licking the lips. A big vommy, please.
In reception, Deb is trying to calm down the very worried Meg.
I was scared that she might not be coming back. And before, when I gave her a kiss and bye-bye, good luck, that might have been the last goodbye to Lily that I would have with her.
Hopefully it's not going to be that grim.
No, let's hope not.
Hopefully they know what they're doing in there.
Yeah, I reckon they will.
We don't want you to have surgery. You're only a baby.
An hour later and still no action. The question now is whether the kitten is going to listen to Lisa or cause herself a whole lot of pain.
It's the easy way out. It's much easier than going under the knife.
Laura? It's not lunch. It's a mouse.
A mouse. Oh my God.
This is Pino.
Pino's being prepped for surgery to remove a cancerous tumour. Another few days and it would have killed the pet mouse.
It's a big day.
If that lump was unattractive before, I've got a bad feeling that once the fur's gone, it's not going to look any better. With her anaesthetic, this is probably the biggest challenge of all. You don't routinely carry mouse equipment in your average vet hospital, so you do have to make some adjustments. So I've cut a piece of glove out and we're going to put this over the top of the anaesthetic tubing and then tape it in place. That then gives you the bare bones of what's going to be a mouse anaesthetic mask. And you just hope that she's going to like it. It gets very serious all of a sudden once the clock's ticking like this. She can really only be under anaesthetic for 5-7 minutes. That's about it. And the idea is hopefully just to get in and around it and shell it out like a pea. Just working my way through these blood vessels that are feeding this immense tumour one by one, and just trying to crush them as we tear them in the hope they won't bleed anymore. People would think that, hey, it's only just a mouse. But to Elliot, Pino isn't just a mouse. It's a big part of her life. And you carry that on your shoulders during the whole surgery. So she's been under for about 6 minutes now, so we're right at the end of our window. She's just breathing, just an occasional breath every now and then, and each time she does, you get filled with hope, but then she stops again. It's just awful. Just coming around the back of the tumour now, it's quite tightly adhered to the wall of the chest, which is going to make this difficult to get off.
At the Bondi Clinic, Chris is continuing the delicate surgery to remove a massive tumour from a much-loved pet mouse.
Even with so much going on during that surgery, I still had moments to think, geez, there's a little girl at school wondering how her little mouse is getting on. There we go. You can see how close that chin was to growing into her chest. That's her lung right there and her heart beating behind it. So this is just millimetres away from absolute disaster. The anaesthetic's still going. We've got to find a way to get this skin back together neatly and tidily and not lose her in the process.
With the stitching finished, Pino should wake up quickly. But as the minutes go by, the tiny mouse is not regaining consciousness.
It's all right. Hey, it's fine. Don't need to stress. There's a little girl waiting to see you. Yeah, he's at school right now, thinking about you. You got to come around for her. Hey. I'd say you look like a drowned rat, but that's just not really appropriate for you, is it?
Pino might have survived the surgery, but there's still a huge fight ahead.
To remove something like that would be a decent operation in a Labrador. We're talking about a mouse that weighs maybe 40 grams, 50 grams, and that's got to be 10 or 20 right there. She'd be going through a lot of shock right now. She's really just lost close to half the blood in her body. At the moment you can see she's hunched over, breathing deeply, just trying to force that blood around her body to satisfy the needs of her brain and all the different organs, because they'd be screaming out for blood, but the blood just ain't there.
You've got to feel worse before you can feel better. Hey? You're a naughty little thing. It wasn't a lizard.
At Sash, Lily is running out of time. If she doesn't regurgitate the rubber band she swallowed, the 5-month-old kitten will need surgery to prevent a fatal blockage.
A big vommy.
Finally,
a big one.
Some encouraging signs.
Come on, good girl. Good girl. That's a girl. Oh, I'm sorry, my sweet. Oh, and there's a rubber band. Yes, there is. Woohoo!
Success!
Success!
Yeah. Well done.
But seriously, that is a long piece of rubber in a cat of this size. That could have been really bad. She's a one-hit wonder.
Oh, hello, Lily.
Now Lily just needs rest and love from her family. As for little Meg, she can stop worrying.
Hello. Feeling better now? She's so happy. Big relief. Yeah.
Some of these seem a little bit strange, but they're all tests to really work out how her brain and how her spinal cord are functioning and how well they're sending the messages.
It's been 24 hours since Betty was carried into the Bondi clinic after mysteriously collapsing.
There we go. There we go.
Even after a good feed and rest, the 9-month-old greyhound is still unsteady on her feet.
She has all the necessary reflexes and reactions, but they're not 100%. They're sort of about 80%. She's negative to toxo and neospora. Okay. Yeah.
And even though her blood tests are back, there's still no clear-cut answer as to what's causing the puppy's lack of coordination.
Okay, what this means is that Betty doesn't have an infection or parasites in her brain. So really, my hunch about her having a knock to the head, it might just be right. The good news, though, is that brain injuries, they can heal. They can get better, provided they have plenty of TLC and plenty of care.
Betty's rehabilitation could take weeks, but even if she responds, there is another major problem.
Thousands of greyhounds are bred every year, and of those, only a very small portion ever make it to the track. The sad thing is that no one wants the losers, and so a lot do end up getting put down. I really hope that Betty will find a great home. She is a character, She's loving and she's incredibly gentle. You've just got to hope that she's half the mouse she used to be. Okay, you're looking good. I don't like the brush.
Little Pinot's recovering after Chris removed her massive tumour. The pet mouse nearly died on the operating table after a huge loss of blood.
To nearly being dead in the surgery to all of a sudden being alive and full of energy, it's quite a transformation.
She's now ready to go home to Elliot.
I think it's time for some home delivery. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I've got someone to see you here.
Oh, Pino.
So she's no longer a full-body Pinot. She is
Pinot Light.
She is Pinot Light. I got to tell you, I don't want to freak you out, but she came pretty close to the edge.
Oh gosh.
In a pretty bad way. That came out of her. It's pretty amazing that.
Yuck. I could not rest my head if she had died. It would be so sad. I kept on thinking about it, and then occasionally I felt like crying.
If you'd have told me that my biggest achievement this week would have been saving a tiny mouse, then I probably would have laughed. But after meeting Elliot, it does feel like a huge accomplishment.
Thank you so much.
That's okay. You obviously love her so much, so the least I could do was give her a chance.
Yes.
I'm glad it worked out. See you, little buddy. I reckon you need some open space. What do you say? Huh?
2 weeks later,
yeah, look
Betty,
at you, want to go.
the greyhound, is greatly improved and strong enough to check out her new neighbourhood.
You think about her life before, and it would have been in a cage and occasionally getting out to the track. She would never have seen the ocean before. This is a groundbreaking day for her. Now that's second gear, Betty, isn't it? Can I ask, is there a third? No? Okay, stay in second. Got it. Got the message. Good. Despite the fact that she's not the fastest of runners, I'm encouraged by the fact she is moving quite nicely. She's showing a great improvement from where she was before. While she's not perfect, she's come a long way.
And there is good news about her adoption.
Thanks to Greyhound Rescue, Betty is getting a new home where she can lead a long and happy life. She is a lovely dog, and it's exactly what she deserves.
1 month later, Betty is a completely different dog.
Mike?
Hey, Grace, how are you?
Is this Betty?
Yeah.
Hey, Betty?
How different is she?
How you doing, girl? Look at you, huh? Mate, I think you were the medicine.
Yeah, how you going?
Good to see you, mate.
She's settled in probably the fastest of all the dogs. She's just so easygoing and so lovable and so trusting, and she's just a big floppy, sooky cutie. I mean, she's just absolutely gorgeous.
It's great for any patient to get better, but one that's been through so much and now loves life so much, it's really special.
Hey, Chris. Got a channel-built cuckoo here. It's got a pretty serious leg injury.
Okay, mate.
Barry from the wildlife rescue group Wires has arrived at the clinic with a channel-billed cuckoo that can no longer fly. These noisy birds migrate more than 2,000 kilometres from Papua New Guinea to Australia every summer.
A lot of people have mixed reactions to them. When they get here, they like to announce the fact they've arrived with quite a few decibels. Summer's morning, about 7 a.m, you're lying in bed trying to sleep in, you hear, it's him. It's a little impression right there, close. After much deliberation, we've decided we're going to call him Sunny, because he chases the sun.
With winter approaching, it's time for this fearless aviator to be flying back to his other home. But with this injury, Sunny's grounded.
Looking at the way that's hanging there, I wouldn't be surprised if it's broken. It just feels a little bit too loose to be normal. Let's take an X-ray and just see what's going on there, because, I don't know, you don't see too many of these around, so it'd be nice to be able to help him out.
Definitely.
Morning, Bill. How are you today, buddy? How's that eye?
At Sydney Wildlife World, vet Sam Gilchrist and marsupial keeper Kate are worried about 1-year-old Blinky Bill.
Get on your pup, mate. That's the way. Good boy.
Bill's had this problem since we first saw him emerge from the pouch. If you look at both his eyes, you can tell the difference straight away. His actual eyeball has this cloudy appearance, and part of the problem is these eyelids are a little bit malformed. That part of the eyeball is constantly exposed to the elements, and eyeballs just aren't really designed to do that.
To prevent further irritation, Bill's eyes are lubricated up to 7 times a day.
Get these drops in again, Bill.
Despite the treatment, Bill's eye is getting worse.
It's been a long road and we make little wins in the battle, but overall I don't think we're making much long-term progress with this eye.
Today, Sam's taking the koala to the Bondi Referral Hospital SASH to find out if anything can be done to save Bill's eye.
Well, we've just got to the stage where we need to know whether he's ever going to be able to see out of that eye. We need to talk to specialists to find that out, so big day for Bill. We'll sort it out.
Chris is about to start x-rays on the critically injured Sonny, but the cuckoo is not happy.
Yeah, see, okay. That's what's going on. So essentially this femur here has been totally split in two. He's either flown into something or something's flown into him, like a car. The fact that birds like Sonny fly all the way from New Guinea down to Sydney and then all the way back again seems like it's going against the odds already. But for Sonny, we've got a massive hurdle for him now because he has to overcome a leg fracture. It's a big ask. I don't know if I can get a pin in there, if it'll hold, and if that bone starts to heal, then he's a good chance of actually making that flight north.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. It's a big if. I mean, I'm hoping.
These birds don't like the cold and they start their migration, and if they don't get away in time, it's going to be a whole season that it's going to be in captivity, and the chances are it probably wouldn't survive.
Don't actually shave the wound here. What we do is actually pluck it.
Chris will now attempt to pin together the break. Surgery is going to test the cuckoo's fragile system.
So we're asking a lot of him, and the hope is that he's going to be strong enough to really come through. Just poke it through. Yeah, that's fine.
Sonny, the channel-billed cuckoo, is now under anaesthetic, and Chris is attempting to pin his fractured leg.
The tricky thing here is really finding a pin that's actually going to fit inside that bone. And so you have to find a pin that fills that hole, but at the same time isn't too heavy, so he can still fly. You don't want him to take off and try to head to New Guinea and end up in the US, because he's sort of got a bit of a slant that way.
Sonny's future is riding on this surgery. If not successful, the cuckoo will miss his migration to Papua New Guinea.
I'm just trying to feel his knee and make sure that the movement of his knee feels normal, because the moment it starts to get a bit stiff, it probably means there's a pin in there. It's been around 2 hours now, and that's about an hour longer than I'd really like it to have been. But the extent of his injuries, the skin tears, the fracture, it's all added up to be one hell of a challenge. This is where you can quite easily lose patients, and this is where, when you lose them at this stage, it's a real kick in the guts, because they were so close to being home. The odds are stacked right against him right now.
You Sam?
Hey, I am.
Hi, Sam.
Hi.
Kelly, nice to meet you.
Hi, Kelly. Nice to meet you too.
Okay. Kate, nice to meet you. I'm super excited about this.
Unreal.
This will be my first koala, being American.
D-Day has arrived for Blinky Bill and his vet, Sam Gilchrist.
Is he stressed at all? Or?
No, he's very relaxed in there.
Good.
Happy to be in there.
American eye specialist Callie Caruso will decide whether anything can be done to save the koala's damaged eye.
Hi, little man. Oh, he's beautiful. Come on, really? There's a zipper somewhere. There's like batteries in here, right? You're delicious, huh? So let's do a couple really specific ocular tests right now. I think the thing I'm hoping for is that we find some trauma and that we can fix this eye. The other possibility is that he was born with something very wrong with the eye and that we won't be able to save it. I can't see a pupil response and I see no squint with the light. It's not looking good as far as being able to save it. He's not reacting in any way that would indicate that there's any possibility of vision in this eye. Oh, sweet man. I think it would be in his best interest if we take the eye out.
Well, I guess deep down it wasn't what I was hoping for. We're going to do the best thing for Bill here today, and you know, he's a good man.
He is a good man. Poor Sam. I mean, he's an amazing veterinarian, but I think it's hard to draw that line between staying a vet and becoming emotionally attached to some of these little critters. I so wish I could save your eye, little monkey. Will you forgive me if I take it out? The only thing we usually see here are cats and dogs, so this is a rare and unbelievable opportunity to try to help one of these guys and learn a little bit more about you, huh? I think you like me. I love you.
It's me. Yeah, well, you're feeling better, aren't you?
Sonny's broken leg has been repaired, and the feisty cuckoo is now getting VIP treatment at the clinic.
Cuckoos love fruits and berries, so that is what Sonny gets. Would you like some raspberries, sir? To your liking? Ooh. Yeah. The challenge is going to be to make sure he gets more fruit than he does Chris. It's hard to tell which is raspberry and which is blood. They're sweet enough for you?
Sonny's pulled through this surgery better than I ever could have hoped, but he still has a huge challenge ahead of him. His migration season's just around the corner, and if he is going to make it all the way to Papua New Guinea, that leg needs to be 100%. Josh.
Sonny is moving in with bird expert Josh Cook.
You like to surprise me, don't you?
Yeah, this is Mango.
Hey, Mango. Hey, buddy. Really just feed him up, just get him well, and hopefully in a few weeks' time, if that leg's
ready
up to
to
it,
go.
be ready to go.
No worries.
You agree with that, Mango? It's a good diagnosis? Yeah? So I really hope the 5-star treatment with Josh will make all the difference.
See you later, son.
Yeah. Yes. Shaking hands, aren't you? Yeah. Yes, okay, I understand.
Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
At the Bondi Clinic, Quinn and his colourful buddy Buzz are waiting for Chris.
What's happened here? I'm racking my brain thinking, is there some rare contagious disease that causes blue, yellow, red, multicolours across the face? You're a textify. Who's this?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Lightyear.
Ah, so you want to make him blue, like Buzz. The rare contagious disease that Buzz is suffering from is school holidays. Is he pouring in his mouth as well?
Yeah, we had ribs on Friday night, so we've been feeding him the leftover ribs. So he's got one wedged right across his back teeth, across his top palate.
I'm thinking that Buzz should be the hairdresser trying to get a tint to change that colour of his, but no, it turns out there's a medical problem here. I'll try to get my finger underneath it and flick it out, but it's in a tricky spot.
But it's not actually the first time it's happened. So he's a very pretty dog, but he's not very smart.
Oh, bro, you look like you're gonna break it.
No, that's not working.
It's pretty firm, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's so firmly stuck, it's not going anywhere. It's either forceps or Buzz is going to need a sedation. It should be fairly simple. Not yet.
I'm gonna die.
There we go.
Oh, well done.
Yay.
I flick that bone out, Buzz thinks, well, bone is bone.
Don't eat it again.
You just... No, don't. Come on. It's almost as if Buzz is trying to create more medical drama for himself, just so, well, he doesn't have to go home and face Quinn. No, you had one go, it didn't work out, so let's not go again. Buzz is probably only a year old, but he looks 8. He's been through so much trauma. Are you going to ride him out, are you?
Yep. Gently now, gently. Good boy.
Enjoy. Buzz, if you're watching, there's a thing called Christmas holidays. They go for about 6 weeks. When you see that tree being put up with all the sparkly things on it, run away, quickly. Don't look back.
So hello, Bill.
See, even for Australians, they're excited to see a koala.
Blinky Bill is the first koala to be admitted for surgery at Sash. And he's getting a rock star reception.
So what's happened with his eye? Why is it blue and yucky?
We think he was born that way. He's had it since day one.
The eye has been a constant source of pain and irritation for the 1-year-old koala.
Unfortunately, it has to come out today, but it's the best thing for Bill, for sure.
You're okay.
Eye specialist Callie Caruso will perform the delicate surgery. Assisting her with the anaesthetic is Bill's vet, Sam Gilchrist.
Koala anaesthetics are a little bit tricky because they have a really long, soft palate. So if we take them too deep, they lose control of all that flesh and it can actually just collapse over the larynx and then koala can't breathe.
Lift him up.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Keen to get into it, but we need to make sure he's stable before we jump in.
I'm really anxious to get him in and off the table and get him awake. That's when I'll be able to breathe and feel good.
So we just take him a little bit deeper, but not too much deeper.
Okay, I'm getting 70 now.
Finally, Bill has stabilised and Callie gets the go-ahead to start surgery.
So far, no reaction. So I'm just really gently and carefully dissecting through some of the tissues so that we can then lift the eye out of what's called the orbit. Now I can actually get a little bit better look in there and see that there's really no normal tissue in there at all. No matter what we did, we weren't gonna make him see again, unfortunately. Just about to get the eye out. Eye out. Okay, we're going to start closing. Sam, how's he going?
Yeah, we've edged a little deep, Kelly.
Suddenly, Bill's breathing becomes irregular.
Not getting much of a blood pressure, guys.
If the koala's blood pressure drops too low, it can starve the brain and other vital organs of oxygen.
I'm moving fast as I can. I promise. Do you need to get in?
No, I need you to sew him up.
Okay.
Get him out.
Get him out of here.
At Sash, Bill's eye has been removed, but now the koala's breathing has become dangerously irregular.
Not getting much of a blood pressure, guys.
Specialist Callie Caruso is under pressure to finish suturing the empty eye socket.
I'm moving fast as I can. I promise. We have about 3 more sutures and we'll be done. Hang in there, buddy. We're almost done. Surgery completed. Wake him up. Okay, come on, little buddy. Wake up. Wake up. Come on, little monkey. Wake up. Wake up.
The doggy on the roof. Yeah, can you see? Look.
Back at Bondi, just when Chris thought his day was finally over, suddenly there's a strange animal emergency down the street.
Oh my God. I have to look once, twice, 3 times just to make sure I am seeing what I'm seeing. But definitely there are 2 dogs standing up on the top of a roof, 20 metres high. I don't know if they're stuck or if they were to slip, they'd be dead, no doubt about it. Hello? Hello?
Why are you laughing?
Those are my dogs.
That they're on your roof?
Yeah. That's where they do their exercise.
I'm frantic, breathless, panicking, walk to the front door, hoping to avert tragedy. And I'm met by Philly, who's laughing in my face. Oh, you want to show me, do you? Come on, let's go.
I just think up ways of like keeping them happy. So I go like, while I'm cleaning the house, I shut them up in my attic and then they can run all over the roofs.
I was expecting I'll be on the ladder right now, calling 000, telling the fire brigade to get here quickly. Trying to talk down some sort of very delicate emotional situation in 2 cattle dogs, but no. Instead, I've got to go home and put myself into a delicate emotional situation over what I've just seen.
Come on, little monkey, wake up. Wake up.
Bill's surgery is finished, but he's taking a long time to regain consciousness.
Just want him to wake up. Here he comes.
There he comes. Yay, wakey, wakey.
Hey, buddy. How you going?
Less than an hour after the operation, Bill's recovering with his gum leaves and is ready to go home.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
It was a success. We're really happy with the outcome. Oh, I miss him so much. He's so cute. Oh, I'm feeling much better now. It's all done. Thank God.
Not such good news for Sonny. The cuckoo was not strong enough to make his migration flight back to Papua New Guinea. Hopefully, the cuckoo will make it through the winter in captivity.
Like that? Ooh, you do like that a bit, don't you?
As for Blinky Bill, he's not only survived his surgery...
He's awesome. He's putting on weight and doing everything that a young koala should.
He's a new, improved koala.
He's turned into a good boy without his eye. Very gentle with his biting. Wouldn't even call it biting. More like a kiss, I reckon. But I think for sure Bill's going to be one of our star attractions for the future.
Just had a call to go out and see a horse that's apparently in pretty poor condition and getting worse. Now, it sounds as though nothing's ever really gone right in her life. Her name's Sally. She's an ex-racehorse. Now, typically, ex-racehorses really struggle to have a bright future. My hope is if she's not in too bad a condition, then there might just be a way we can turn her luck around.
4-year-old failed racehorse Sally has been dumped in a paddock.
It must be her. Hey, girl.
Chris has been asked by the Randwick Racing Trust to check her out as a possible candidate for their new rehabilitation program for unwanted thoroughbreds.
To put it in the simplest possible terms, if she fails this test for soundness, then she's off to the sale yards. And from there, you just hate to think about what might happen to her.
G'day, mate.
Hi, boys.
Chris.
How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Not too bad.
Scott and Shane, who run the
What have you got?
Randwick
This is
program,
Sally.
have arrived to hear what the verdict will be for Sally.
So she's had 3 starts for a last, a second last, and a second last. So, yes, it's embarrassing, I know, Sally. She's consistent. That up. She is very consistent. I'm going to give you a full check. There you go. She's obviously not in the greatest condition, just coat's a bit ratty and a little on the skinny side. You look okay. Gum colour's nice and pink.
The future's grim for horses that are left without the care that they need. And whether it's a slow decline or whether it's something that has to happen, they have to be taken away and put down, it's neither of them are good options, that's for sure.
Who's this? Hey, gorgeous. Look at your head. You're a bit wobbly, sweetheart. Come here.
Over at the Bondi Referral Hospital Sash, Lisa is confronted with a kitten in terrible distress.
Oh, look at that head tilt. Her eyes are spinning in her head. Hey, Cam? Little Cammy's just come in. She's 8 months old, and all of a sudden she's started tilting her head, falling over. Basically, she's got no control of her balance, and she is really dizzy. Oh, sweetheart. Let's look at this one. Is that one a bit sore? The most common causes for this would be something structural in her middle or inner ear. So something like a polyp.
It's all right, I know it's scary.
The polyp is a mass of inflamed tissue, which is putting pressure on the balance nerve and causing shocking pain.
Good kitty.
The damage can be permanent.
I'm sorry. She keeps wriggling. Come on, gorgeous. And go see Mummy. Oh. Ouch. Okay, okay. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Come on, off me. Come on, gorgeous, come on. I don't like to wrestle cats very often, but this is not being nasty. This is her just being really scared and wanting to hold on to anything that's stable because she's completely unstable in her head. So I'm going to pop her in a nice dark cage and she'll probably feel better. Ouch. Oh, my back. Ouch. She needs her nails cut.
Waiting to hear the prognosis is Cammie's owner, Amanda.
I guess where do we go from here? I've tried to look in her ears, but she's quite sensitive. The next step would be to do a CT scan of her whole skull.
Yeah. If it is a polyp inside Cammie's ear, she will need major head surgery. But there is no guarantee it will be successful.
They often get worse before they get better.
It's a bit devastating, to be honest. She's just my little kitten. She's normally very in everything and has a great time doing it, so it's just a real shame to see her like this.
Basic structure of the hoof's all right. Seem to have any pain.
Chris's examination of abandoned racehorse Sally is a matter of life or death for the thoroughbred.
If we didn't get the call to come out, this horse would probably stand in this paddock for another, who knows how long. You know, thoroughbreds in paddocks don't do very well. Largely they can stand there and starve to death if they're not getting the right sort of care. In some paddocks the feet will grow out until they look like flippers and then suddenly they're no good for anything ever and there's only one option, you know.
She has the bare bones of what, and quite literally the bare bones of what could be quite a good horse in whatever field you had in mind, but I just can't see a reason to say no.
Okay, good. No, I'm happy with that, mate. I think you're right. We'll get her looking good. We'll get her going well and see if we can find her a home.
See you in Randwick.
Sally's now off to Randwick Racecourse, where her future will be decided.
Is it funny though, the ears are up? She already looks a hand taller, doesn't she?
Absolutely. She's a different horse than she was in the paddock.
Hey, she is. You remember the track, don't you?
There you go. Good girl.
I just want to do one more final test just to trot her up and actually see if she's lame on any 4 of her legs. Ideally what we're looking for is that back hoof should actually come through and land in the same spot where the front hoof landed. If you watch closely, she actually does that. Mate, she's all yours. I think she's going to be a great prospect.
Yeah, great. We'll give her a go and see how she turns out.
This is the new home, is it?
This is Sally's new home, Chris, and this is where the rehabilitation program's based.
Yeah. It's social, aren't they? All coming out to check out who the new kid is.
Absolutely.
Sally's been put through a series of tests today, and for a horse that's never really had too much luck, she's found some today. Girl, I'm all done. Next time I see you, things might have changed. She's come through them all and passed the ball, and now she's got a new life.
Thanks very much, Chris. Come back in a couple of weeks, you won't recognise it.
Mate, looking forward to it. Thanks very much,
Cheers.
mate. See you later. You look after the new kid, all right?
At the Bondi Clinic, vet student Erin is carrying in a boxer who's been hit by a car in peak hour on the Bondi Expressway.
What happened, huh?
John is the Good Samaritan who's risked his own safety to rescue the hit-run victim.
Had she run, she would have run into the path of another vehicle, so I stopped.
So he's not your dog?
Not mine, no.
Yours?
No.
No? All right. Thank you for stopping, though.
That's fine.
In that sort of traffic,
Yeah.
that's a bold move.
While the broken leg is horrific, Chris is more worried the boxer may have suffered a collapsed lung.
Right now, she's gasping for air, and that worries me. We're now getting up towards 150, 160 mils, which is a huge amount of air to have leaked out of the lungs into the cavity. So That says that she's probably torn an airway and actually been hit by the car, and that air is now rushing out, almost hissing out into that space. She's got a pneumothorax, so even though she takes deep breaths, she just can't get that air in quickly enough. She's been hit by a car.
The box's owner, Diana, has been desperately searching for her beloved pet. Molly was chased out of the park by another dog and was too scared to come back.
I just ran and screamed.
If the pressure of the air around the lungs gets too high, it just squashes them and she can't breathe, she can't get the air in, and that'd be the end of her.
Bye-bye, Molly. Hey, bye-bye. Chris will look after you, okay?
Now that Diana's arrived, Molly's saviour John is happy to go home.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. I'm so...
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for stopping too. You're welcome. Very cool. Don't worry.
Chris now needs to x-ray Molly's leg and torn lung.
The most amazing thing for me at the moment though is just the fact she's just not responding to that. She doesn't seem to be in pain. She just seems as though, hey, what's going on here, guys? Must be going through hell.
Puppy girl. Good girl. So we're giving Cammy her anaesthetic and then we're going to run the CT scan and hopefully get some more information on what's going on inside her skull.
At SASH, Lisa's hoping a scan will reveal what's causing 8-month-old Cammy's chronic dizziness.
Look at that.
Ooh, that's impressive.
The CT results are a shock to Lisa and surgeon Andrew Marchevsky.
Wow.
The scan
really
shows
thick in that
Cammy's
bone,
middle ear
isn't it?
cavity is now completely filled by an inflamed mass of tissue, which is causing her extreme pain.
That's a tough kitty. That would hurt like hell. This is a big surgery. We've got to get in and clean out the middle ear, but the middle ear is right next to the inner ear. And if I damage that, we could make her signs a whole lot worse, where her whole world could be spinning. So you've got to be really careful.
Don't fall over, sweetie pie. Mum's there.
It's a tough decision for Cammy's young owner, Amanda.
It's going to get worse unless she has surgery. And there's lots of risks and surgery might not fix her in the end, but that's the best chance that she's got.
So far. Yeah. I want the best for her. So I'm hoping that the surgery can do it and then take it from there.
Hello. Hey, gorgeous. You having surgery today?
Surgery is about to begin on 8-month-old Cammy. A growth in her middle ear is causing the kitten excruciating pain.
Good luck, okay?
Her whole middle ear is just full of a big polypoid mass of some sort, and I think it's actually burst through the eardrum, and it's putting a lot of pressure on her inner ear, which is why she's got all those signs of an eyes flicking and a head tilted to the one side. Her bone of the middle ear is probably 10 times as thick as it should be. So she's been suffering, I think, since birth. So she won't really have a normal middle ear cavity anymore, but that's a small price to pay. I think I'm now just at that part of the polyp that's gone burst through his eardrum. I'm just gently trying to get it out of here now.
Wow, that's huge.
That tissue is sitting right around the inner ear, and so you'll be very careful when you're getting it out of there, you don't damage that. And it's scarily close. All right, that'll do me. I think I've got as much of that tissue out as I can without sort of compromising or risking causing too much damage, but it was pretty bad. So I'm still a little concerned that she's going to wake up with her world spinning. Well, there you go. You're all right, babe.
The handy thing from this X-ray is showing that on that left side, which is what we were working on before, there's no black line. So that's where I've actually done my work here. It's this right side where there's still air there. If I can suck that back out, we're a chance here.
2-year-old Molly was run over and left for dead. The boxer has a badly fractured leg, but her torn lung is the greatest danger.
Yeah, we're just getting towards the end of it now.
All I was praying for was that I find her. Well, this is a best case scenario in a series of worst case scenarios.
A second set of x-rays shows Chris is winning the fight.
To see her lungs looking like they're fully inflating now, or very close to it, it's a sigh of relief, and it's probably the way that Molly feels right now too. She can actually breathe. This is tibia coming down here.
Molly's leg has been broken in 2 places, but she'll need to stay at the clinic for at least 2 days until her lungs have stabilised.
I'll go home and cry now.
Yeah, you've been through a lot.
I think my adrenaline's wearing off.
Only then will the courageous boxer be transferred to SASH for surgery.
Bye, you. All right, I'll see you later.
I've got to say, I really admire Molly the whole time she's been in here. No fear. You'll be all right. Okay, you've been very, very brave today, you have. It's going to catch up with her though, and she's going to start to feel that pain and realise that she's got herself into a bit of strife. You leave the light on? Is that what you want? All right, we'll check on you during the night.
Watch yourself there.
Over at Randwick, Scott's having some interesting moments with Sally's rehab.
Steady, steady, steady. She looks a hell of a lot better than she looked when we picked her up. She's still got a fair way to go, but she's come a long way in the time. Steady. When she first came in here, she had the flared nostrils and the whole, you know, racing attitude going on, and it took her a while to realise that she wasn't going to have to gallop. Steady, steady, steady. Steady.
The unwanted thoroughbred will only get a second chance if she can pass this re-education boot camp.
Steady. What's up? Steady. Good girl. Definitely worth saving. They're all worth saving, you know. It's great to see that they get the opportunity to move on to something worthwhile in their lives, you know. I fall for all of them, you know. I really love horses, I do. It's a bit soppy, but, you know, they're great animals. They do great things for us, and it's hard not to fall for them. They're beautiful things.
Oh, look at that. That is not nice. Oh, sweetie. So brave.
3 days after her accident, Molly has been transferred to SASH.
Good girl. Yeah.
The boxer is still in danger from her torn lung, but surgeon Andrew Marchevsky can't delay her leg surgery any longer.
We've obviously got to fix her fracture, but her life-threatening problem is the pneumothorax, or the air around the lungs.
A chest drain is being inserted into Molly to minimise the risk of the anaesthetic.
So if there's a little tear in the lungs, we'll actually push the air through that tear and it'll leak outside the lungs, and that will cause the lungs to collapse. And then suddenly she crashes, and yeah, you've got to be really careful. I'm sucking air out now of her chest, yeah. That's a litre of air that we've got out of that without really trying very hard. It's a bit like Meccano, doing this sort of stuff. A little bit more blood involved, but it's essentially Meccano. How's she going now?
She's good. She's very stable.
No problems with the breathing?
No, she's breathing a bit more now.
Right, so this is the last screw. I'm really pleased with how it's come together, to be honest. I think the leg will be 100%. I mean, we've got 2 or 3 months of healing ahead of us. It's all right. Don't worry about it so much. You can put your tongue in. Go on, have a sleep. You have a sleep. It's all right. I mean, she was trying to walk on this leg when it was flopping all over the place, so I think she'll run out of here. It's going to be fun keeping her quiet.
Cammy, baby girl.
For 8-month-old Cammy, the world has finally stopped spinning.
It looks so good.
The delicate surgery to remove an agonising mass from her middle ear has been successful.
From what I've heard, she's a lot better than what she was, but I'm just not, till I see her, I'm not sure whether it's all completely better.
Hi, who's there? Hi, Cam.
I think Amanda was in shock. I don't think she expected such a quick recovery. She was prepared for the worst, and when she saw Cammy, she was just elated.
Let's go down. No, settle. Good girl, good girl.
3 weeks after being hit by a car, Molly is recovering well and is back in her favourite park.
I know you're expecting me, but I thought I'd bring along someone that probably wanted to come along as well.
Oh, John.
Hi, Diana.
Hello,
and
John.
look at Molly.
And I think you
want to say hello. I'm just stoked. Just stoked. Yeah. How anybody could hit not just Molly, but any animal and just leave it on the road.
More. Why not? More?
I can't imagine what I'd be doing right now if anything seriously happened to Molly. I'm really grateful. I'm very, very grateful. So thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Big thank you from me and a huge thank you from Molly.
Well, I've already got that.
Considering the state of panic that Molly would have been in, if John hadn't stopped, she would have just kept on running into the path of another car. She would have been gone. John saved her life.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
See, is that enough?
I'm not going to give you any back, though.
She wants to repay you with love.
Okay.
Been looking forward to this.
Oh, I bet you have.
Has there been much change?
Mate, it's a massive change. You'll be surprised, I think.
This was 4-year-old Sally just 5 months ago.
Oh, wow. Is that her?
That's her.
Scott's hoping he's found a new home for Sally. She just has to pass one more test.
I'll need to sit on her and see what she feels like, and then see her over a jump.
If she can impress Kevin, Sally will begin her new life as an eventing horse.
Basically, you get a feel straight away whether you like them or not, whether you're comfortable on them.
Right now, Sally's jumping for her life. If she clears this, she's probably found a new home. Girl. A bit proud of me, I reckon. A bit proud. Yeah.
She's got a new home.
Sensational. It's a little bit sad when you let them go because you always form a bit of a bond with them, but that's what we're here for.
You have to remember this isn't just about Sally, this is about the thousands of ex-racehorses that have this huge cloud over their future. If they can be a little bit like Sally and have the chance that Sally's had, then everything starts to look a bit brighter.
In this 1-hour Bondi Vet special, Dr. Chris Brown travels to South Africa for a working holiday that will realise a lifelong ambition.
This has absolutely been a boyhood dream to not only see the animals but make differences to their lives. As a vet, it's the holy grail.
In an extraordinary adventure,
It's amazing.
he will meet the ultimate line whisperer.
What I find even more amazing than the fact they don't tear him apart is the fact they actually go so far the other way. They love him.
Perform operations on 2 big cats.
This surgery is going to be incredibly difficult.
Join in the battle to protect the endangered rhino from poachers.
It's a one-on war.
Make friends with mesmerising animals and feel the true spirit of South Africa. It's only 3 weeks now before Chris leaves on his long-awaited trip to South Africa.
Got an appointment with Dr. Wing.
He'll be handling some of the world's most dangerous animals, but that's not what he's afraid of.
It's a little bit embarrassing when you're 6'5" and weigh 100 kilos and you don't like needles.
Chris, do you want to come on through?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Now, because of the kind of work you're going to be doing, we do need to update everything.
How many injections are we talking about?
Today we're looking at 4 injections.
4?
Yeah.
With every mention of each shot, I just started to feel more and more faint as it went on. Now I know how the dogs feel when they come in and see me.
All right, Chris, we've got all the vaccines here. Okay, these are the 4 that I was telling you about.
That's good. I was lured in here under the misapprehension that this was a vaccination, singular. I have no control over it. You can't fake this. You just start to get hot. The colour starts to drain away from what you can see and everything starts to sort of go a bit grey.
You right there, Chris?
Mm-hmm. And that's when you feel like you're about to clock off.
I'm going to prep you this time with a bit of chocolate. Chocolate's always helpful. So just lying down. Good on you.
This is just demeaning.
Yeah, it's quite funny though when a big guy with big muscles, you know, kind of falls down and needs a bit of extra help. You've done really well.
Thank you. Professionally, Angela, you're probably finding it hilarious, but it's not funny for me.
Africa, it's always been at the very top of my bucket list, but this trip is about more than sightseeing. I've been invited by some of the most amazing animal conservationists in Africa to spend some time over there, but also get hands-on with some of the most incredible animals on the planet. But, true to form, the plane leaves in 2 hours. I'm running late, so I better get going.
After flying into Johannesburg, Chris's journey begins with a 100-kilometre drive to the Kingdom of the White Lion, a unique 2,000-acre conservation reserve.
Just take a look at this. I reckon I'm about as far from Bondi as I could possibly be. I am about to go and meet a guy who absolutely intrigues me. His name's Kevin. He's known around these parts as the Lion Whisperer. He gets up and close personal to lions, but he wants me to get even closer, to operate on 2 of his lions. Now, for me, that is so far out of my comfort zone. They're still cats, right? Just big, aggressive cats. It's like he's walking a dog.
The Kingdom of the White Lion is the vision of Kevin Richardson. 12 years ago, he fell in love with 2 cubs born in captivity. Now he provides a safe home for 41 lions, many of which he's bred and hand-raised.
Hello, my girl. Hello, my boy.
You find it all right?
I did.
Good.
You're hard to miss, mate. Not everyone does that, you know.
Well, meet Siam's pride. This is Siamie.
Hey, Siamie.
He's the chief in charge, really. So he's the one that eats combis. Hence the... Come on, away from there. Nicely. Good boy. Oh, he's a good boy. Yeah, the closest you've been to an adult?
This is when he looks at me and there's actually no wire between me and him.
Yeah, no, it's a different feeling, eh?
It's a big window.
And it's a big window, yeah.
His head's...
Yeah.
It just goes against everything your mind wants to believe it's seeing, because people shouldn't walk with lions, wild lions. It just doesn't really make any sense when you see it. So for me, it blows my mind.
Lick on my face. Nice lick. Not bite.
While Kevin dreams of no lion living in captivity, the reality is the wild population is rapidly diminishing.
My goodness, it's 40 degrees. Do you have to lie on top of me?
These definitely haven't lived the lives of a captive, normal zoo kind of lion. They've gotten to be in the bigger areas, live in prides, fight for females, roar at other lions over territories. So they live as natural life as I could give them in captivity.
So I'm in Australia, people go to zoos and look at the animals in cages. Here, it's sort of the other way around, isn't it? People are in cages here.
Not bite, Debbie. Debbie. You are a terror. You are a terror. No. I've always thought, you know, if you gain the trust of an animal and get to know it on an individual basis, then the sky's the limit. Once you've formed a really good relationship, there's no reason why when that lion gets to 2, 3, 4, 5, there's no reason why he should actually change his attitude towards you.
What do you think when they see you in there? What do you reckon's going through their mind?
These lions, they definitely know that I'm not a lion. So I'm always like this honorary member of this pride.
What I find even more amazing than the fact they don't tear him apart is the fact they actually go so far the other way. They love him. They're all over him. They just want to be near him and be scratched by him and roll around with him. It's a real affection.
What can I do? I can't. Thank you. Is that what you call a lion hug?
Feels I'm interrupting.
You're interrupting the love affair.
Chris is about to become a lot more than an observer. There's been an outbreak of facial tumours in the pride, and Kevin has asked the Aussie vet to help out.
We've had a recent spate of what's referred to as a sarcoid papilloma. They develop quite rapidly, and they also seem to be quite contagious.
Chris will be operating on 2 lines, Kevin's favourite Napoleon and the aggressive Maisha.
It's got to be awkward for her, eating and
Yeah.
you know, socialising with that.
Yeah. The only trick is she's not a hand-reared lion. She's more of a wildish lioness that's grown up in this pride.
Yeah.
So yeah, she'll take our hands off with you, even if I try and, you know, probe around on her lip. Look at Napoleon on his nose there. You see his nose?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's the one I'm worried about as well. If there's any concern that he's not going to get his nose back together properly or it's going to be tricky, he is my baby, so Daddy's got to intervene here and make sure what's best for baby.
If there wasn't enough pressure about working on a line, he's not just a lion. He's the very reason Kevin does what he does, so it's a lot of expectation.
As many times as I hear it, I never ever get sick of it. You cannot get sick of a lion roaring. It's absolutely incredible.
For me, the sightseeing part of this journey out to see Kevin is all of a sudden gone. Now it comes down to work. Kevin really should be very well aware of the fact I've never operated on lines before. Now it's my time to impress. I hope I can.
Maisha and Napoleon need to be isolated in the shed so Chris can sedate them.
Winner takes all.
When they walk past, I've got to hide behind a brick wall so they don't see me and jab her. When I jab in there, the needle stays where it is and this pushes in an injector. Can I be honest with you? It's not a technique I've used before. Not a technique I've had to use before, but we're spirit of adventure, we're going to give it a go.
Open, Rod. Yeah, Maisha.
Kevin is well aware of the risks involved.
We've had a vet that was chomped because a lion tower wasn't sedated properly. That was a lesson learned. I should have mentioned that earlier on, hey, before you came all this way. Yeah.
The surgeries are tricky. They're in a delicate part of the body that bleeds a lot.
Close!
But what really freaks me out is the anaesthetic.
At the Kingdom of the White Lion, just outside Johannesburg, Chris is attempting to sedate a wild lioness so he can begin surgery. After several nervous attempts, finally success.
Dus John, okay. Dus gaat en lieve.
Yeah, it's beating a bit quicker now, but I'm very happy to see an empty syringe there. Roll her into this?
Yeah.
Can you just tap her eye for me? the big test of whether Maisha was actually asleep was tapping her eyes. You normally just need one tap, but I think I was working on about 10 or 20 just to be sure.
But 10 minutes later, Maisha is still not completely under.
She's just a little bit light. She's actually blinking when we tap her eye, so it's not really the state you want when I'm about to actually cut into her.
What Chris doesn't know is that during the last operation here, a lion woke up and took a bite out of the attending vet's arm.
I've seen things go wrong. You know, there's a lot of adrenaline in the air and everyone's hyped up, and then, you know, you get a little bit anxious always when a cat goes under the knife. But I'm sure she's in capable hands. I'm assured, at least.
There was a pause there. I heard a pause.
No, I've done my research. I Googled you.
Really?
Yeah.
We've got about 20 minutes or so, if that. It's conservative. Let's go. It's going to be a cut, like a wedge, almost like a triangle to try to get in through this gum here. I'm doing Maisha first for a couple of reasons. First of all, her tumour is a bit more obvious. It should be a bit easier to get out. So in a way, it's a bit of a warm-up to the main game, to Napoleon. I'm trying to get a good margin around the base of it and just avoid the fact that incisor is about an inch away from the hand.
To Chris's relief, there are no complications during the surgery.
Okay, can we just get a check on this eye again? Good. Yeah. The reason I asked you about that is about your hands very clear.
Your hands are very close to her jaws.
With the tumour removed, he just needs to stitch the wound.
What kind of knot do you call that?
That one is called a simple knot, named after the surgeon that's performing on it.
That devised it.
Kevin is keeping a close eye on Chris's handiwork.
It's got to make that lip look pretty, you know, because she's got to find herself a guy one of these days, and you know, no one wants to go out with a girl with a look that looks like that.
I'm actually really happy that that's actually come out really nicely, and that the lips actually come back together quite cleanly, and from here that swelling will actually subside, and the great thing about this area is it has such a great blood supply. It heals really quickly.
Oh, there we go.
Do that.
Wonderful.
All right, this wakes her up. Thank you, girl. Thank you. You're most obliging. Get the hell out of here. That was really frantic. Actually, a couple of times I had to try to distract the guys and just sit with my gear, fumbling for syringes, just so my hands would stop shaking. There's a huge difference between Maisha and Napoleon, not just their size, but most importantly for me, it's their age. Maisha's 3, Napoleon's 13. And with that comes a whole new range of risks with the anaesthetic. You just have to be so careful, because at that age, you could lose him.
Much easier, huh? Yeah, good. Difference between a tame cat and a wild cat.
You can tell me one more time if you like.
Well, I'm going to just tell you one more time that this isn't just a lion. This is like a brother. So you are aware of that too. So.
I know.
No, look, he's a special cat. Huh? Each one of those scars represents something.
I'm going to have one across here, am I, if things go badly?
Yeah.
Slowly, Napoleon is succumbing to the anaesthetic under Chris's watchful eye.
Not only does this lion mean so much to Kevin, this surgery is going to be incredibly difficult. We're dealing with an area that's not only very sensitive, but there's no give. There's no spare skin to enable me to cut the tumour out and then bring the skin back together and stitch it in place. Here is a real challenge. And then there's a clock on me. Anyone that's had a punch in the nose or even a nosebleed nose at the nose has a lot of blood. One little cut to the nose and they'll bleed, and they'll continue to bleed. And this isn't just one little cut, this is a huge gash that we're having to make here and get quite deep in and around this mass.
The large amount of blood flowing into the wound is making the surgery difficult.
Okay, so there it is there. The real challenge here is actually closing this wound here, because you can see it's big. It's about 1.5 centimetres wide and about 2 centimetres long, and in an area like the nose, that doesn't come together easily or quickly.
I just can't understand how you're going to do it. Over to you, Chris.
Thanks, Kevin.
But even Kevin is happy with the final result.
Seriously impressive.
Not done yet.
No, it's looking really good. Don't be so modest.
When you sign that line, you commit to becoming a vet and going to vet school, you don't ever for a second think that you're going to be in a place like Africa operating on a big male lion like Napoleon. It's awesome. It's just not what you ever planned for, but you're so happy it happened.
So well done.
Good. that's my stress meter.
Yeah, I know, I can see that.
That's registering high.
So
right
this
now.
is like 9 out of 10 stress meter?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Good job, good job.
That was intense. It's just full on. I mean, awkward position, and I'm on my knees, lying down, and all the while there's just that big head staring right at you, and he's anaesthetised, but those eyes look straight through you.
Sure, I know.
Now the surgeries have been successfully completed, Chris has told the story about what happened to the last vet who came to the kingdom.
You serious? A vet actually came here and got chomped on. Really? It's good, isn't it? That would have been in the column marked essential knowledge, but he didn't pass that on. Thank you.
After the anaesthetic wears off, Maisha is demanding to be let out.
There's a good boy.
But Napoleon needs a lot more TLC.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it's for your own good. Yeah? It's actually looking very good. I mean, he's very sore. You can see he's feeling very sorry for himself. But he's a tough cat, eh? You've had worse than that in your life, my boy.
It's time for Chris to head back to Johannesburg. But before he says goodbye, Kevin introduces him to some miniature Napoleons.
You're scary, aren't you?
Yeah, I bet.
For you, is this where the relationship starts?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're going to form a relationship with a lion, it really should start at this age. Even at this age, it's about enrichment. In captivity, you've got to, tire or just keep them occupied all the time. Stimulate those little young minds. I am at my happiest when I'm with the lions because it is a way of me finding a sanctuary. I've often said, and I really truly believe this, I would give it up like that to see wild numbers increase exponentially. If somebody could say this is the magic, formula, you've got to stop going in with lions, and then overnight lion numbers will increase. I'd do it like that in a heartbeat. Oh yes.
As far as days as a vet go, I haven't ever had one where I've done surgeries on lions in Africa. So I reckon I remember this one. I'm in Johannesburg, and what a city. It's just a city of contrast, the heights of affluence, and then you look around, you just see the depths of poverty. And right now, I'm heading to the outskirts with the SPCA, and I reckon I'm in for a surprise.
Chris has joined up with SPCA vet Leon Malherkey. They're heading to the community of Pinetown to provide much needed free vet care.
The problem that people have in this, remote areas is such they don't have transport. And they have a lot of animals. So as I say, if they can't get to us, we've got to get to them.
What I can't believe is that 20 minutes ago, we're in the centre of Johannesburg, a thriving economic centre.
and then we come here. They're worlds away from each other. Word gets around when you arrive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people will start coming.
It's not long before the locals are surrounding the mobile clinic.
People are just coming from anywhere and everywhere. It's loud, it's noisy, there's just animals appearing. I just hope we can handle them all.
The vets provide basic health checks and desexing clinics. But today, the focus is on providing the all-important vaccinations for the killer disease, rabies.
That one dog bite him here.
Oh, okay.
The blood was coming from the mouth.
From the mouth?
Yeah.
If your dog gets rabies, he's going to bite the people, you're going to die as well.
There we go.
Oh, boy.
You're a very good boy, aren't you?
It's lack of money, not lack of love, that's threatening most of these animals, including flamboyant Mary's reluctant buccaneer.
How long have you had him for?
I think 3-4 months.
He's at least 6 months.
6 months.
He's got all these teeth.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got fleas.
Yeah, yeah. And the other one is big and is brown.
Yeah. See here? Is this what you mean?
There's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it gets ticks as well. What about those?
What's wrong with it?
Maybe we think about getting him desexed so he stays at home more and stops fighting?
You want to kill it?
No. There is a love for dogs here. You look at Mary and the way when she talks about buccaneer, a big smile comes across her face. You just need to give them the means to look after their animals and they'll do it. There you go. He didn't even jump. He's a tough boy. Yeah. You love your dogs, huh?
Too much, I tell you.
A little bit too much. See you, Buccaneer. You're a good boy, aren't you? You've got a good one here. Follow the hat. Follow the hat. Come on. Come on, buddy. Buccaneer is what the SPCA's program out here is all about. He's got problems, but they're really easily fixed. And if you can just do a few things like vaccinations against rabies and sterilise him, then Buccaneer could live a really long and quite happy life.
With Mary a satisfied customer, it's off to the local primary school to talk to the students about looking after their pets.
Part of the SPCA's work here is all about education, and it really starts here with the kids because they're the ones that go home and spread the word to the rest of the family. The education today is coming from the esteemed teacher known as... Yep. So in Australia, what I do is I look after animals. So I'm like a doctor for animals. And so today we talk to you about making the animals happy and healthy and jumping like kangaroo. If you have a dog at home, I want you to woof. If you have a cat at home, I want you to meow. If you have something else at home, make that noise, okay? In 3, 2, 1, go. I can see you're going to be very good to your animals. And thank you for having me in Finetown. Thank you. For a moment, the spirit of Africa just infused into my body, and a moment later it was gone. And it was me on that dance floor. This seems like a lot of fun, just running around, dancing, playing games, but the message here is associating animals with care and with love. And that's what the SPCA is doing out here. It's a hell of a way to get a message across, and it works. I'll see you later. Right now I'm heading to a place called Mohola, which is a very special wildlife rescue and rehabilitation centre. They'll take anything from lions that are hit by cars to leopards that are caught in traps. You name it, they'll treat it. And right now I'm off to actually microchip a rhino, which I think is going to be easier said than done.
After helping out the SPCA, Chris is back on the road. His next destination, the Maholo Holo Rehabilitation Centre, is located in Limpopo, 550 kilometres northeast of Johannesburg. But as Chris gets closer, there's an unscheduled pit stop in a local village.
Hello. People say one of the great things about Africa isn't so much what you see in the tour guide, it's these moments where you just come across these little magical situations.
This man is very tall, Maga. This man is very tall.
Yes, thank you. I think they were probably as amazed as I was when they saw me, big 6'5" Australian bloke. I don't see them every day.
Well, I got to meet a long, tall guy like you from Australia. No wonder you're good cricketers and rugby players, eh? Tall and strong.
So
Look at me, I'm
with the animals,
small.
huh? You're right.
Welcome.
Wildlife warrior Brian Jones set up Maholo Holo as an animal refuge back in 1992.
There are a lot of challenges for the animals in Africa. They're getting poached, they're getting poisoned, they're running out of habitat. Where do they go when things get tough? Thankfully, there's Maholo Holo. Want the keys? I don't have the keys. Promise you I don't. Most vet hospitals back home have a clinic dog or a clinic cat. At Maholo Holo, they have a clinic baby black rhino. They sign on the door for a reason, I think.
As a calf, Landella was rescued from the wild after her mother abandoned her when the baby became stuck in a mud pit.
So you look after her pretty much 24 hours a day, do you?
When you leave her to go to the bathroom or to go get her milk or something, she'll just scream and cry until you come back.
Since being rescued, minders like David give Landella round-the-clock care.
Come on!
Including games of chasey to keep her interested.
Be careful, she's gonna bite you, she's gonna bite you.
Playtime is over. Brian's now recruiting Chris to help sedate an African serval.
Down, okay, good shot, well done. Well done, Doc. That's pretty good.
This feisty cat was born in captivity. Another success story for the Maholo Holo breeding program.
So this serval's been hand raised, but she's now reached the age where she can really look after herself, so she's right to be released. Okay, put her down. Just keep her eyes. Now she's getting a collar put on her, and that way we're going to know where he is. Key here is just getting the actual diameter of this collar right. The fit's got to be spot on. If it's too loose, then these guys will always find a way to flick it off over their head, and if it's too tight, it's just going to cut into their neck.
Doc, you could actually pick her up here. Turn her face that way. There you are. Well done. Put it inside. There's it. Close the door. Hey, on the tail. The tail's short enough. They need to make it shorter.
The serval will be released later after she shakes off the sedation. Now there's time for Brian to introduce Chris to some of his favourite residents.
Wow.
There's Eland.
Yeah.
Come on.
How do you beat that?
I raised the mommy, and the mommy raised all these babies, and the babies learned to be tame. We got to protect it. We got to do something to protect it, you know. And it's just dying slowly, like a cancer. And I mean, these beautiful creatures, my, what is their future? Come on, Shanandi. Good girl. You are, come on, up. Come on, that's it.
Hello.
This is Uncle Chris.
Hello.
Shanandi is one of the many cheetah Brian has nursed back to health.
They brought it to me, run down, mange, full of ticks, parasites, a horrible state. She killed kudu, she killed impala full grown, she's a good hunter. but too tame for release, it's a problem.
She's really living proof of Brian's work. I mean, she had 2 broken legs, and now look at her, she looks beautiful.
She's incredible. No, I love everything. The only thing I prefer above all is my wife.
She's a little flirt. I don't mind that, because she's a good-looking flirt. To be honest, I think I fell a little bit in love with Shenandy. To be that close to such a mesmerising creature is awesome. But the reality is there's still work to be done and a wildcat to be released. We get bearings.
With the tracking collar, Brian's team will know how the serval's coping on her own.
She's accepting that collar though, which is good.
Yeah.
The great thing about being on this reserve here is they can always keep an eye on her. She'll come back to them if she needs to. If she's doing well, they will never see her again.
This is the reason places like Mahalo Hollow really exist.
It's about making them better and then releasing them back into the wild.
Everybody ready? Here we go, please. Okay. You jump with us. Yep. If you guys come with us. All right, Hyde, let's go.
At the Mahalo Hollow Rehabilitation Centre, Chris has been asked to join in a mission to microchip a wild rhino.
So if he doesn't like what's going on, he's going to charge?
He might.
Conservationist Brian Jones, who runs this oasis for endangered animals, knows the risks involved.
If he did come, we'd have to run for our lives and get in the vehicle. And I've had them smash the vehicle a couple of times. They put their horn, fortunately, they put their horn underneath and lift the vehicle up. So it's only the back horn that punches a hole. Cody, we are on our way now, Cody.
Standing by.
Poaching of rhino is something you hear occasionally about in Australia, but in Africa at the moment, it is the news story because last year 330 were killed. We're not talking small money for this rhino horn. We're talking about $50,000 a kilo, and in an adult full-size rhino, there's about 5 kilos of horn in each rhino. That's $250,000.
Chris and the team are searching for 2 rhino brothers.
They're right next to the road.
Okay.
It's the smaller of the 2 males who still needs a microchip.
That's him there.
The first problem is getting close enough to the rhino to sedate it with a dart.
I'm now at the perfect distance to fire, but the reality hits me. If I get this shot wrong, she's gone. There'll be no second chance. All the while I've been thinking, I'll have some time for this shot. I'll be able to get myself prepared, focused, get the target right. All of a sudden, Hind says, go now, must go now. And it's on. Before I can enjoy the relief of landing that shot exactly where I wanted it to go, he's taken off. And it doesn't look like he's coming back.
Bit stressed about us being around. Made a run for it. The worry is that the drug hasn't kicked in yet, so he's going to drop at some stage, but it might be miles away. Spotting some tracks and they're going through this way.
You wouldn't think it'd be possible to lose something as big as a rhino, but that's exactly what's happened. But thankfully, what have we got? Hind's tracking skills. The guy's incredible. He's looking at the dirt. He just sees things that I can't even see and goes, not this way, it's gone that way. And all of a sudden, we're getting close to that rhino.
I see the big one. Yeah, here's the other one. Okay, wait.
Hind now alerts Brian to their location.
Okay, also southeast of you. Let's just keep our eye open for the other one, eh? The other one ran away towards the mountain, but just keep our eye open, ears and eyes open.
He's stumbling around, so it's certainly made him immobile.
They stand and sleep like horses, and then at some stage they go down.
Chris and Hind are now carefully approaching the sedated rhino. There is still a risk it could turn and charge.
To be that close to a rhino, it's one of the most dangerous animals in the world.
It's this weird mix of exhilaration and absolute terror all at the same time.
At the Mahalo Hollow Rehabilitation Reserve, Chris and Hind are cautiously approaching the wild rhino they need to microchip.
Just watch out, the other one is just running away here. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Hey, going down there. I see there's some blood. There's a hole here.
The sedation from a dart gun has now immobilised the massive animal.
Just extraordinary.
Brian and his team have been given the all clear to bring in the equipment for the dangerous procedure.
It really hits home for me when you're here and you see those animals and you look into their little eyes and they're caught up in the middle of this war and they don't really know why they're involved. What they use the horn for is honestly a bit of a mystery as far as scientists are concerned, because it's claimed to have every benefit from being an aphrodisiac to helping arthritis to people even claiming it cures cancer.
It sells for up to $1 million per horn, and it's ridiculous money. It costs them their life and they pay the ultimate price.
They're getting ruthless. They're going with GPSs. They're going with international cell phones. I was talking to rangers in the park when I was there now, and they said, Brian, they have a scout that goes out first. He finds a rhino. He hones him in with the GPS. They shoot it and move out. And in 2 days, the horn's in China. It's a one-on war.
Yeah, it's still nice and pink there.
The drilling has started, so the tiny microchip can be placed in the horn.
This male's actually very close with the other bigger male, and he's just been lurking around the bushes over here, so his constant concern is the fact that he is just very close by. He's not liking what we're doing to his mate, and he could charge any minute. Hole's nice and clear, so that's ready for the chip now. Let's see the chip in it.
This is a medical procedure with a huge purpose. The idea of getting that microchip into that horn means that it can be tracked anywhere in the world. They know exactly where it's come from, and that's the big step in trying to really rule out this horrific crime.
4B 7F 7 Alpha 2033. We've microchipped him, we've vaccinated him, we've marked him, we've taken DNA samples, vitamin injections. Really the whole works is done right here and right now. Now we've done everything, really it's just up to this injection just to reverse this anaesthetic, and then he should hop up and continue on his life a bit safer than he was before.
It will be only minutes before the rhino wakes up, and the team needs to clear his departure path.
You're going to wake him up, get ready to run. If you can climb a tree without thorns, good luck.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Watch out, watch out.
Honestly, when I gave that reversal, I thought, got a couple of minutes here, we can amble away. He woke up straight away and meant business. The rhino's still groggy, so he's crashing over rocks and then barges through a tree and then turns around and looks at me. I'm thinking, no, mate, just keep on going the way you're going. But no, he runs straight at me. Yeah, I'd go. So I do the courageous thing and run fast. I'm sure you're having a great laugh, but when that rhino's running at you, it's very, very scary. Trampled by a rhino. Interesting way to go.
I've got some oxygen.
Chris is good. He's a natural, but he's in the wrong place. He should be in South Africa.
That was very special, so thank you.
No, well, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
This is the last day of Chris's African journey.
Wildest. This is where work stops.
Now it's time to relax and realise a lifelong dream.
Hey, how are you?
Good, and yourself?
Good, good. I'm Chris.
Yeah, I'm Henry.
This is Juma Wildest, 7,000 hectares of private game reserve where they promise to show you the animals of Africa in their natural environment. This is going to be good. Henry knows this place better than anyone else. He's like a wildlife concierge. You just make requests and he delivers quickly too.
I can see a giraffe.
I'd like every single one of the animals all in one small area.
All of them?
Yeah, alphabetical order.
Okay, because anything is possible down here.
The leopard moving through the long grass just through here. thought we'd see animals in the distance on the horizon and they'd run away. To see a leopard this close, coming towards us, unbelievable. They're very cool. They're absolutely one of my favourites. This is so amazing. This has absolutely been a boyhood dream, to travel to Africa, to not only see the animals but to be up close to them and make differences to their lives. As a vet, it's the holy grail. I think back on everything that's happened in just a few days, and it's incredible. Meeting Kevin and being allowed into the inner sanctum with those lions was a rare privilege. And then to operate on his best mate, Napoleon. Not done yet.
It has to be the most nerve-wracking surgery I've ever done. Microchipping a rhino with Brian, a man who loves these animals and this land so much, and meeting so many other wonderful locals with such open hearts on this journey. It's truly been a trip of a lifetime, and I feel absolutely humbled by it. It's not an experience I'll ever forget.